Tennis people, the U.S. Open taking place in Flushing, Queens this week and next week. It's a rite of passage for Labor Day weekend. A lot of money, certainly, we just talked about in golf, will be handed out. The same thing here in tennis. The men's title, the women's title. By the way, Dubs, big tennis fan are you? Is that correct? Yes or no?
Massive tennis fan, Donnie. Anything you can do on grass, play on the surface, big thumbs up from your guy.
Now, finally, here's what we can get down with. Like the Australian Open, played on a hard surface. The U.S. Open, you played on a hard surface. I have no idea what we're doing overseas, playing on grass and clay, so it's good to be back on home court for us. Now, if we are looking at the men's side of it, Djokovic is a 2-1 favorite to win this tournament, followed by Carlos Alcaraz at a plus 220, Sinner at a plus 360, and Zverev at a plus 850 number. Now, typically, the cream usually rises to the top in the majors. Very rarely do we get a ton of surprises on winning these tournaments. So if we are just looking at the favorites themselves, do you have any opinions on whether it will be Djokovic, whether it would be Alcaraz, or whether it would be Sinner at this point? Or are you looking a little bit down the board for a winner from the men's side?
Yeah, it's a couple of interesting storylines on the men's side of things. Novak Djokovic, he's in search of his 25th slam, but hasn't had success at the first three of the year. The top-rated player, Jannik Sinner, he comes in with a bit of controversy with a couple of fellow players really going after him after a couple of failed samples, if you will. He sits there at plus 360, and King Carlos Alcaraz, well, he's had success, and he'd be the one to beat at plus 220. But given the head-to-head record and the way that this draw shapes up, I think Novak Djokovic, if you're looking to put a portfolio of plays together, rightfully so, should be at least the co-favorite in this one. It's a bit of a standout how many live chances we have on the American side of things. 5 contenders ranked inside the top 20 for the American men. It feels like it's the coming of age, for 2024, the first win at the Slams in 21 years. I don't think that's too far away. But the price play for me is Daniil Medvedev. You can see he was at 15-1 plus 1,500, considered to be a bit of a hard court specialist. You need a bit of all-round game, a bit of power in the mix there as well. And this is a guy that's never going to take a backward step. So at 15-1, Daniil Medvedev certainly makes a bit of sense for mine. We can see the American players there. Benny Shelton at a big price, Tommy Paul, Taylor Fritz. And what about Seb Korda? He really knows how to get around the court. They're having a nice all-round game. So in terms of the betting side of things, it's Novak Djokovic, the chalk up top of the board, still in search of that first slam for 2024. I think he's got a really good chance of taking a look at the head-to-head record against King Carlos Alcaraz. And in terms of that price play, it's Daniil Medvedev at 15-1. He's hungry, he's motivated, and this is not a player that you want to be going against at the US Open. Someone who's going to feed off that crowd energy, it's going to be Daniil Medvedev.
Yeah, Djokovic there at a plus 220 price. Now the favorite, you saw Alcaraz, who was the favorite here, stumble a little bit yesterday, but still advance in the U.S. Open. But obviously, when you watch a player that's playing great, when you watch a player that's playing not so great, those odds are going to change, and maybe those two will match up. Flipping over to the women's side here, Sabalenka at a plus 200 price, Swiatek at a plus 400, Gauff plus 950, and Rybakina at 11-1, then followed by the American Jessica Pegula at 14-1. Any thoughts on that side of it? Because it looks like Sabalenka there at a 2-1 price, clear of the field right now.
Yeah, Sabalenka at plus 200 has reached the semifinal of final in her last 3 US Open appearances. So we know the preferred surface is going to be this one for Sabalenka. Comes in having a really good 2024. Swiatek drops a little in the market. Iggy's still one of the best on the women's side of things. But I think this is where we can chase a bit of variance. We've got Coco Gauff hovering right around plus 950. We saw as the teenage sensation getting it done here last year. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for 2024, but if Coco Gauff can just find a bit of confidence going through week 1 here at the US Open, I think she's absolutely live at plus 950. This is the turnaround spot where she can draw back onto this time last year, find a bit of confidence, has the power in bunches, and has quite the price to match.
How about this? In the main court today at Arthur Ashe Stadium, 2 p.m., you're going to get Shevchenko versus Tiafoe. That's a heavy favorite here for Frances Tiafoe at a minus 720 price. You also see Dejeri going up against Djokovic, a minus 5,000 price. And then for the women on center court, Madison Keys and Maya Joint. Madison Keys is a minus 550 price. And then finally, Tatiana Maria and Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff, a minus 4,500 price. Any thoughts on today? Will we be watching any tennis over there in your direction there, Dubs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tiafoe and Coco Gauff jump within and play the sets. Don't worry about trying to play this outright. You'll see that in week one as they go against the unseeded players. A couple of easy beats, play within the sets. I think we can see a couple of clean ones this afternoon.